Can you feel your own sense of presence, your own sense of existence? It's really important that you can feel the energy of life within you, as well as the movements of life within you. When you can do this, you'll feel far more alive than the time when you didn't feel this. It opens a new dimension to you. Self-awareness has some drawbacks too. When you're aware of yourself, you'll check all of the feelings you have within you. I don't mean just emotions, but the physical sensations of being alive, being energetic, being depressed, being sleepy. I got a question for you. What do you want to hear about? My normal bullshit talks are just top of the head things I think of 5 minutes before satsang begins. As you can probably tell, these sessions aren't planned by me at all. What do you want to know? What do you want to get out of these talks? It would be different if we met in person. Because in that situation, it's not so important to hear from the people. You can see them. You can watch them breathe, whether they have their eyes open or closed, or how attentive they seem to be. It's a little more different on screen. When you can be aware of your own self, something is really different in you than when you weren't aware before. I think you can say that you become a full human being when you're aware of your own self, which means your body, your thoughts, your emotions. But when you meet in a spiritual meeting, we're trying to get out of our heads and go lower and deeper into our bodies. So we feel the expanse of an unlimited consciousness. But I never know why people come. Is it for Sunday entertainment? Finding somebody that speaks your own language? Or that you're so utterly lonely that you come to be here? What is the reason? Do you come to listen to me? Do you come to learn a little more about your own selves? Being self-aware really changes us. When we can be aware of our entire body while being in conversation with another person or a group, you will notice that when you become self-aware like this, the emotions stabilize and you're normally steady in yourself. There's no storms going on within you. You may even feel elated because of the peace you feel. I was going to say Veselina doesn't look too peaceful, but she started smiling. That changed everything. I'm glad Egeman stopped his car rather than continue driving while coming here. Otherwise, we could watch him get in a collision. How are you today, Eric? Maxie, how are you? I haven't talked to you in a year. Talk to me. How are you? Feel yourself. Feel the life force within you. Feel your breathing. Feel the movement of your own diaphragm as you speak. Then go deeper into the quietness inside of you. Close your eyes. Can you feel that sense of being alive throughout your entire body? Can you feel your feet and the movements of energies within your feet? What about your lower leg, your calf muscles, and your thigh and your hamstring muscles? The many muscles around the hips. Your sense of breathing. Can you feel the air coming into your body and then flowing out? Are you aware of your inner stuff too? The feelings inside your body. Any emotional reaction or tension from daily activities? Let go of all of them. Try to be in emptiness. In emptiness, you can do nothing but feel your body. That's about it. You can be aware of the space around you. By the difference in sounds that are from 1 inch away or inside your head and those 20 feet away across the room. Inside of you, there's a veritable circus going on of various things happening throughout your body and your mind. You may be looking for something. Merely by the act of looking, you miss something going on within yourself. So even while you're aware of somebody else outside and what they're doing, be aware of your own heart while you appreciate them. Feel how they affect you. I watched a few minutes of TV this morning. I saw Trump speaking, a few Democrats speaking. What a bunch of shit they talk about. You ever watch politicians talk to each other in public? It's not the way they are with each other in private. Every word is studied for the effect on the home audiences, and the audience is right at hand. And what are you aware of right now? Are you aware of your own body? Are you aware of your own life force? You feel yourself inside as an entity, as an aliveness, and also a mentation going on, supposedly involving the brain. But I think it's much more than that. I think it's the whole body that we perceive when we talk to another person. I can't imagine anything more enjoyable to do, Jill, than to pet your own dog in the morning or the afternoon.
It is quite nice. I'm not sure how I ever get anything else done.
What's the dog's name?
Rose.
Rose?
Mm-hmm.
How old?
She's 5.
That's delightful. Look at that.
Yeah, she's such a sweetheart. She's blissed out most of the time.
She looks like it.
Yeah.
How many other people here have pets? Dog, a cat, a salamander, turtle. Feel yourselves. Be aware of your breathing. Feel your chest. And if you're laying back, feel the chair against your back and how that feels. Does it feel pleasant or unpleasant? Feel your butt against the chair. Feel your arms and where they're making contact. Watch your breathing. Try to immerse your sense of self into the body, your body. It's really, really very pleasurable to be able to totally surrender into your body. By way of information, there is no such thing as enlightenment. That's a bullshit made up idea. To get to listen to them for some secret knowledge. Ramana style knowledge. Nisargadatta style knowledge. But in the end, what we have to do is know ourselves. Part of satsang is to allow you the opportunity to know a little more about yourselves. Not that I know everything, but I know a lot about sense of being and feeling yourself. There's that sense of being that's at the base, and everything is added onto that. I really don't know how I would feel if I couldn't feel that sense of beingness all the time. But I'm sure a lot of people don't feel it. It's kind of subtle and it's always there. But out of all that's there, what is the most important things to understand and to feel? You need to learn how to feel yourself, to discover yourself, to worship your own sense of self, and how you're a spark of God or of consciousness, one of 8 billion in this world, endowed with a mind and capable of thinking, as well as emotions and understanding of the world. Why could anyone want more than to open their eyes and see and feel the world around you, hear the world too? But you can do something normal people don't do. You can be aware of your own mind, not so much the content, but that you're aware of something in you, the mind. Now I turn a little further and ask yourself, what do I want? And boy, that opens vast communication. What do you want now? What will you want 6 hours from now? How many different things do you want? Are they conflicting so that if you get one, you don't get the other? Can you slow flow of your mind, of thoughts? Can you just rest there in silence with a still mind or mostly still mind? There's nothing really to do or to want that's anything special. We all want mostly some of the same things. And then a few of us want things outside of just everyday life. Look inside. We can feel our lungs expanding and contracting. We can feel our throats and the restrictions around there. I can feel my face. I can even feel my glasses resting on my nose. But I think overall, this would not be enough for most of us. We'd want a relationship. We'd want love. We'd want money. We want peace or war. Want to move, exercise. See some things around us. Investigate a remote pond or a new city. And most of the time, there's no seriousness in any of these activities. We just do them and don't watch ourselves when we do them. Instead of just experiencing these things, we watch them for knowledge that might be revealed. When I sit like this, almost immediately, I sink inside myself to an area near the heart. It might be even in my heart. But when you're inside yourself like this, with your consciousness sunk into some aspect of yourself, for me, a sense of peace descends over me. And I identify that peace with the zero state that I've talked about, where nothing seems to be happening. No obvious mentation, no thinking, no searching for anything. And just rest in your body as your body rests in a chair or on a bed or on a rug. And you can sink into that feeling of melting into your own self. And even that has its own unique feeling surrounding it. And also the descent of peace as a secondary aspect of paying attention to your own self. At first, when you start paying attention to yourself, it's very hard. Whenever you start any kind of meditation, it's hard. But I used to meditate. From the time I was 12 or so, I started meditating. Got serious about it. my late teens. And much more serious about it, about the time of Muktananda. The world is an interesting place. But if you spend all of your mind there and attention there, you'll never know yourself. There's an advantage to knowing yourself, is that you're never really surprised by anything, because you accept anything as okay, anything. You observe it as a phenomenon. You can feel your own heartbeat when you're quiet enough. Feel your diaphragm move. Your breathing. Feel your butt against the chair. The pillows behind you. Slow your thoughts down. And just become awareness without thoughts. Don't let your mind move. Let it become still. And then feel within when you're still. Where do the sensations seem to come from now? Where is the inner thinking taking place too? When you're talking to another, what do you feel in your heart, your chest, and your stomach? It's really necessary to become aware of ourselves while we're talking to somebody else. We're doing something else. Be aware of ourselves. Because at some point, this results in self-realization. Awareness of all levels of consciousness within you. The sense of your normal home consciousness or awareness. And how events seem to happen and affect all of these things. It's really hard to find any silence or peace because the world and our minds are so active. But once we learn to stop moving, and be still, after a while, you'll feel something descend through your mind, through your attention and your body. And after that, you're in peace. It's one of the stages of going into meditation. And in this stage, you can become aware of your heart, aware of blood flowing in areas in your body where you can feel it pulsating. For me, that's the upper part of my back, right below the neck. Can you smell yourself? Are you aware of your own odor? Why do you seek teachings? Which direct you on how to look more deeply into yourself and to things of the world. Do you feel this because something seems awry in you? You can't find your own sense of peace and rest? Can you feel your own body now at rest? Is your mind relatively empty and able to listen? Or do you have a hard time remaining silent or being aware of all these things inside of one's own self? You think about all the things that happen around us on a daily basis, a very local phenomenon. There are no general principles of observation at this level. And then you become aware that you're aware of these things. And you try to become aware of your own awareness. See what that does to you. You experiment like this with all things that you sense. Turn your attention into them. Turn your attention into your own self. I guess most people would feel the sense of self is somewhere in the area of the heart. Others would feel it's in your head. I don't think anybody finds it in their butt. But where do you feel it? Are also you aware that when you're in pretty good meditation, that the mind feels empty, that your body feels empty, the world around you can enter you, and you can feel that world from within. You become vast like space, grasping the whole world. Is this experience real? Yeah, I really have it, but what do you make of it? Stop trying to figure out what things mean. And then instead, be aware of the way things are, how you are, not how you think you are. Get rid of the mind. Just feel your body. All its aches and pains, all of its little joys and treasures. How many of you have visited spiritual teachers in person or in an ashram, or to hear their talk? What was it like the first time? What was your expectation? What was your excitement about being able to hear and talk? I used to hear Krishnamurti for 4 or 6 weeks every year when I was living in the LA area. He'd be around for at least 2 weeks and sometimes as long as 6 weeks. He'd have daily talks. What the hell was I looking for? What drove me to do this? It was a feeling that something felt wrong about the world to me. It was incomplete. Something was missing. But it wasn't the world that was fucked up. It was me. My mind was tortured by different thoughts, different drives, different kinds of attention. I think Jill has become my new guru with her dog, petting her dog like that. Oh, she's the teacher, huh? You two look so delightful together. But we only sometimes feel with our own animals. And those of us who are retired and don't get too busy with outer things, we can enjoy our pets more than most people can. Because we want to feel in our hearts their hearts. We want to make them happy. We want them to know we love them and they're safe here. And this gives us a sense that we've done good. We've brought one animal to peace, at least. Does anybody have a question? Does anybody want a question? I got a question to ask yourself. Why am I here? What motivates me? What am I searching for? Is it peace? Is it understanding myself, the world? Is it to be in my own presence in front of you?
I think, Gee, it's for me, I think it's understanding in a sense. I wouldn't have necessarily thought of quoting Paul Simon, but you are the sound of silence. There's such a, really, I've said it before, your words, the cadence, everything, each word is so exquisite. There's such a jewel, and the power of Shakti and God manifest coming through you. I I I know why I'm here. In some way, I don't know who I am the rest of the time, but the template, my takeaway, allows me to walk in the world among and around people and circumstances which are beyond the ken, simply unimaginable a lot of the time. But I don't, I mean, I didn't, why I'm commenting wasn't to go there in that succinctly in that respect. The rest of it was the exquisiteness of what you bring. This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, and however many laps it takes, I'm still in an Advaita mode. I still read Robert Adams. I still think it's a pendulum swing in the world when he says all is well and everything is unfolding as it should. I think he knows. He said this has happened before, this bullshit will happen again. Simply know thyself. Put this bullshit down and simply go dumb as a rock. And that's where I am with you, and that's why you are my beloved. And thank
Well,
you.
thank you, Jay. That's good appreciation of your own self. Mark seems so wide awake and always on the edge of participating. Raju always looks the same. Whoops, he came to life. Catherine looks serious. Jill looks like a goddess with her sweet dog next to her. You can feel what's going on between them. The touching, the love, the peace that brings. You can do the same with a cat too, I assure you. See, this spirituality that I teach and many others teach isn't always about meditation, but about appreciating ourselves for who and what we mean. And I mean appreciate by being aware and also aware of it favorably. View yourself with silence and kindness. Don't be too hard on yourself. As a matter of fact, if you can do it, let go of any intention to change or become more of one way or another. Don't direct your life towards expanding your consciousness or anything else. Just relax as much as possible. Relax with yourself, with other people, with pets, employers. What does getting tension do for you positively? Nothing. And yet, for many of us, there's a constant sense of tension somewhere in the body. Whether it's the back, chest, the butt, legs, face, neck. And awareness of these changes what you experience as we more and more explore our insides. The exploration gets more and more still and quiet. At first, we may have pushed hard to understand ourselves. And it's just created a lot of tension in ourselves. So instead, just be aware. Don't try to pull it in to expand it, to make it louder. Be gentle with yourself, because you'll be more relaxed. And when you're more relaxed, you're better able to appreciate or respond to anything. Does anybody have any questions?
I have one.
Good.
I feel the need to surrender, but I
Good.
don't know to what. To what can I surrender, or to whom? Or
Surrender to everything. Let everything be your guru. Surrender to your dog. Surrender to the wall around you. Surrender to the window. Surrender to the next person that walks into the room. If you trust them enough, go over and prostrate yourself in front of them, bowing. It's a wonderful practice. At first, you don't want to appear to be foolish, so you don't do it. But when you don't mind feeling foolish, you do it. You can demonstrate the depth of your surrender. And people will see it in the way you bow, in the expression on your face. Are you really in love? Or are you doing it in a kind of formal way that you're told to do it? When you sit in stillness with your mind not moving at all, you can feel deep, deep peace and rest. And after a while, you can begin to move with it. And it follows you even into a more active state. And actually, you can do it so you feel it all the time. A sense of rest, your own sense of beingness, your own sense of presence. And each of these different things has a slightly different feeling. And gradually, people around you get to know what these words mean in their own experience, to know one's own self. You can feel it spread around inside of you, maybe centered in your chest for you, like it is for me, but extending throughout the whole body, my own sense of presence. The totality of Ed Muzika. And when you can view yourself in this way, you'll be at peace, rest, and in the optimum state for understanding. I feel the sense of peace all the time, and deeper at some times than other times. I feel my own sense of self too, all the time. And I become more inside my body than outside, like I normally would be. Normally, I'd be aware of the world, not totally aware of all the nuances of the different things that go on inside my psyche regarding my body, my beingness. Instead, I just let all these observations rest, and I just do it. You can either see or you can watch yourself seeing. Split off from the act and become the observer of the act. And at this stage, you really begin to wonder who the hell you are. Your awareness has changed how you relate to yourself and to the world. Once you get to know yourself within you, you can feel it move. You can imagine its existence. You enter into a very deep level of acceptance and peace. Finally, you have what you want, which is your own sense of self existing in the world. That's really the important element in feeling our own existence. Here also, you can begin to feel deep peace. and rest. Like an automatic kind of rest. That's someone who's just done a bunch of activity and has had an hour off, begins to sink into silence. Now feel the silence within. How does it differ from feeling your sense of existence? In this way, you can watch yourself for long periods of time, getting to experience yourself in how you are in silence and in activity compared with how you are in the rest of your day, engaged with the world. I don't feel engaged in the world much anymore. There's nothing there that I'm really interested in. But me. Wow. It's exciting to watch all these things that go on in and around me, as well as being in the everyday world, which is a repetition every day. Does anybody have a question or want to make an observation? Mark, you haven't spoken in a long time, even when invited.
Actually, I do speak fairly regularly. I'm at the stage where I kind of realize it's really hard to speak further than what I've already spoken about. And also, anything I say can easily be misleading or taken the wrong way. Because I'm at a place now where it's getting to extremely subtle stuff that's very hard, even harder to speak of than before. But yeah, I find coming here very useful. I mean, you know, I could tell myself, well, I don't really need to come, but I want to come and I find it useful and I enjoy it. So that's it. That's all I want to say, Edgy. Thank you for everything. I'm a changed person because of you and your efforts and your care.
In a good way?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good. Thought there for a moment I might have ruined your life. Jill, would you say something? I'd like to know you a little better.
What can I say? What would you like to know?
Who are you?
I used to go by Jill, so I'm still going by that. I'm a consciousness in a human body making my way on Earth. And finding more and more these days that I don't try to put things back together the way I've known them. And when I thought I was already free, it seems to keep going more that way. I guess the only way I can really point to that is just I feel more and more in a space or place that can't reference itself or isn't interested in it anymore. And when I do, I come out of myself. So why would I ever want to do that? So that seems to be who I am today. Did that answer your question?
No, not at all, but that's fine.
Keep asking.
Okay. BJ, how are you?
Doing okay. Trying to get back myself.
What?
Trying to get back to myself. Went to India for about 6 weeks. Got our daughter's marriage wedding celebrated there. Came back and settling down past 2 weeks. And trying to find the quietness in me. That's always challenging.
Trying? Are you finding it?
No.
Can you relax right now? And try to find it in silence. See, there is a point of going within, either through meditation or just sensing the emptiness inside of yourself. Where you begin to feel like you're diving into your own self. And you feel your own sense of presence. I guess it's the life force or whatever, just something imaginary in yourself. You can find that within. You can explore your body and your mind until you know yourself really well. You can build a foundation of mindfulness so that everything seems to slow down and a lot of things drop out. So it's almost like you're entering a vacuum of silence. And there's such peace here. Now, there are other spiritual teachers that will speculate about what these feelings mean. And the stuff they talk about is ordinary human affairs, what's there for dinner, whatever. This really has nothing to do with your own self. Activities in the world is a different dimension from your own self. But to be aware of yourself all the time is such a gift. Because when you go deep into yourself to find yourself, you go into silence and peaceableness, sometimes bliss, sometimes movements within the deep mind of yours that they're not mental, but seem almost phenomenally experienceable, like touching. And you begin to finding the mystery of your own self. You uncover it layer by layer, week by week, month by month, year by year. You uncover aspects of yourself and bring them into consciousness. They may not remain in consciousness a long time. They may move into a border area between sleep and full consciousness that is very peaceful. And here you can rest. You can, in your imagination, lie down in a shallow stream, warm water. And you relax more and more into that subtle water. And when you do, you feel your whole body opening up, your legs relaxing, your butt relaxing, your back relaxing, even the muscles in your face relax. And you gradually sink into the totality of existence rather than just your body mind. And you begin on a long path learning that at all levels of consciousness, there is awareness. And if you try to find you in that awareness, you have to look into your own heart. In the silence, you can feel the power of your own sense of self. And at the same time, the rest of your own sense of self. When you're really familiar with your sense of self and you can relax into it, it's almost like floating on a cloud. There's no effort in being. All effort is gone. All intention is gone. Just there, resting in the silence. Are there any questions? Are there any answers?
What does "I am not the doer" coming from Robert? I am not the doer. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I think among one of the foundations of Advaita was something he said about I don't know, I guess how to feel. I think what I'm trying to say is, I believe he said that we have to know that everything is preordained and act as though it is not, because we never know what the amness of that is. And yet in pure awareness, there's no self-awareness. We are lived, we are projected. I think on some level, you being pure Advaita, being fully aware and attained with Robert, yet coming back to the marketplace, which was your gift, as I said, why I'm here with you, to walk us through God manifest and how that helps us in the everyday world. But still, the structure of where Robert was so powerful. I mean, karmically, the clock is running, but if you're self-aware, there is no self, there is no karma, there is no clock. All of these things go away. They're only concepts, they're only words. But I mean, it sounds like I spend a lot of time with this, but I don't really. A lot of it is simply to put it down. But I still keep reading Robert because the clarity of where he's coming from is so exquisite. And I think what you said is he was really never altogether in this world. He was always sort of tangential, peripheral, something, a space cadet, somewhere
Yes.
with this incredible awareness that what he shared was he had to comport himself in a way in the world so that he could be in the world. But the rest of it was so exquisite. I guess what I'm trying to say is, how do you live when you know that you're not the doer? I mean, I'm not the architect of anything. And the simplicity of that is that I go back to putting it all down. Go dumb as a rock and just shut the fuck up. So pretty much at the end of what I just said, that's where I am. So there's this, again, it's the thing that you've done, and why you're the gift that you are, because of what you have brought to us in every exquisite satsang. It really, every satsang is this I can't get it right. Said it. It's just, anyway. That's it. The exquisiteness of it, as I said, leaves me with this. It allows me to live in the mundane world in a way that I couldn't do, and that's my takeaway every time. And that's what I find so exquisite about your voice and your words and the cadence. The words are exquisite and simple and perfect, and they just get the job done. I'm crushed, and you do it every time, and it's why I just love you. I just really, I just keep coming back because there's a grace here, an abiding and a descending grace that is perfect. It is the perfection of the now moment, which is all there ever is, and it is exquisite. And I just simply, I'm down with it, and I love it, and I love what you bring to us. I mean, I'm still recording. I don't want to get this shit wrong. I work with the material in the room, but I love you so much. And I love how you love us.
And I love how you love me. And how much many of us love each other.
the expression was Shakti Pat Sadhana, which I could not think. The synapses fused, but that's what each sadhana and each satsang is, by your grace.
Does everybody here live in the United States?
No,
One no. Is that it?
I've been to the United States, but I haven't lived there for more than 3 months.
Canada.
I've been to Arizona.
Oh, who said Canada?
I did, Catherine.
And Claudine, where are you from?
Malaysia,
Wow.
London.
I feel very deeply relaxed today. I don't know why. You guys must have had something to do with it. Certainly Jill and Jay. Devotional Jay. How prized he'd be by any teacher for being able to express the kind of surrender and love. I love you all very much, very much. I invite you always to feel you can come into my heart. Whether you're alone or in a crowd, if something happens, come to me. Robert used to say that too. Wherever you are, I'm here. Come to me. Take care. I love you all. Bye-bye.